Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and I got an interesting one in today. It's a relatively lower end reel. It's the Daiwa Sweepfire 4000. They probably retail for under $30. This one, if you try to turn it with the handle, good luck. You can turn the rotor. Does seem to move a little bit. A very dirty reel. It looks like it's probably been sanded. So we're going to take a look at this one. We'll see what we can do to restore the use of this reel. And if you play along, who knows, maybe we'll learn something together. Maybe we'll learn why this reel failed, or maybe we'll just learn that there's something broken inside that can't be repaired. And you'll see a little bit about the manufacture of this reel, how it comes together, and how it works. So we're going to start by removing the exterior pieces, and as we do, I want to thank our first responders and essential personnel. I'll never get tired of doing that during this pandemic. The folks are out there day in and day out helping to keep us safe. They're all the uniformed services, the truck drivers, the supply chains, everybody in the food distribution side of it and goods side of it. Well, we got a lot of dirt under here. Well, as I suspected, there is an awful lot of sand in there, and there's an awful lot of sand below. So my guess is this one probably got dropped on a beach somewhere, and we're going to have to do what we can to clean it up. But let's see what's going on underneath, because we can just notice very quickly here, if we run a cotton swab underneath, that there's just all kinds of dirt and junk and debris. So this one probably failed for that reason. And if that's the reason, we can clean this up and generally get this one going again. I have an over-tightened handle screw here. We're going to start by taking the handle screw out. Wow, somebody really bolted that sucker down. I use the pliers to just grip it and turn the reel as opposed to using the pliers to turn it. There's a serrated edge on this, but you don't want to rip this up. So rather, if you can just grab that and turn with that, you'll be in better position for it. So we're going to remove this. This should be a through bolt, and that's not telling me anything good there. We've got a lot of rust on it. Again, this is a lower price reel, so that's a steel shaft as opposed to a stainless steel shaft. Hopefully it'll clean up a little bit, but I'm not being too encouraged here by what I see. I'm kind of hopeful that inside it can still be useful. This is all kinds of scarred. I'm not sure what they did there. All right, so the handle should pull out then. Boy, that took a little while. And we can see that this reel has not been serviced. We have rust inside here. Never a good sign. And hopefully, I'm wondering if this thing didn't go under the water completely. It is quite possible that somebody was out there surf fishing or had this one in a boat and wound up just completely dunking the reel. And I'm guessing it's salt water because of the sand, but it could be that it was in a river. But where we are here on the North Atlantic seaboard, or Mid-Atlantic seaboard, most of the time this means that this thing went into water, and it usually then means it went into salt water. Let's see if we can pull this off now. This bump guard should come down. I don't see any other attachments here. There we go, just came off. And one of the things that I recommend that you do while you're working with these reels is to take pictures along the way. The pictures will give you reference points, and it will help you to see where the orientations of the reels are. Just doing this now. So it's pretty tough. It'll give you the parts orientations, and it'll show you a little bit about the order that you took these off, just in case somewhere along the line you get lost or you have to put the project down for a little bit. Coming back is always helpful. Notice that this has got some kind of a crosswind block hanging low here now. It looks like the bump guard protects that, so it looks like they wanted to keep the frame compact, use all the space. So what they did was they picked up a little bit of room here with that bump guard. If you look at your reel and this case ends here, you can pull it off. This case does not. This case goes up under the rotor, which means you need to remove the rotor next. To do that, take the spool shim off. That's this little red piece. And then take the click mechanism off. And then under that, you have another little metal washer. So note the sequence that they came off in. Now we have a tie down for the rotor nut. So let's take that off. And I'm putting all my pieces and that into a parts tray so that when I go to reinstall, I know where they are. Some folks like to line these up along their bench. That's okay. Some people like to use different methods. Whatever works for you in terms of sequencing, knowing how the pieces came off and how to go back together again. But have a plan. Just don't leave them laying all over your bench, because that's a formula for losing pieces and parts. Should be able to remove the rotor now. This thing is just really it's a shame is what it is. It's totally rusted on the bearing here. So there's no question this went into the water. Somebody decided that it was going to be okay to just kind of put it off to the side, and eventually the reel froze up. And then it's like, hey, can you service this? Can you help me out? Well, not really. Notice that there's two different size screws on this one. The one screw is actually going through here on that override. The other one is a shorter screw that just goes into the collar here. You want to pay attention to where these came from so that you don't put them in the wrong spots going back. There should be, well, I was thinking there should be one more screw here, but it doesn't look like it. Let's see if we can remove this. This is a candidate for one of the worst rusted reels I've ever seen. And that goes a long way. All right, we should be able to remove this now. We can't. I'm going to pull this. Wow, everything is just frozen in this reel. All right, we've got that out. Now you can push this whole thing through on the bottom like that. There is no easy way to get that out. There is a screw here, but this one can come out by itself. So just make note. Now this can come off. And we might as well take that other piece out as well. So we've got some bad bearings in here. There's no question about that. And we're just going to see if there's any way that we can match some bearings up here. This one is just completely frozen onto the shaft. Put a little bit of WD-40 on here. See if I can turn this off. And this is a reel that one of my flea market vendors was given, I guess. If we can restore it, we will. If we can't, we won't. But right now, this one is not in very good shape. I'm going to take the handle to use that as a lever as I try and move the bearing. And we're not having, wow, that is absolutely completely rusted on there, which is why this isn't working. So I think what we've noticed here is why the reels fail. In this case, what it failed on was a frozen reel. The reel froze apparently because there's been a lot of sand and debris in there. And the best estimate or guess that I could have is that this reel failed because it got dunked in the ocean and it was left to just sit there, and of course everything else just corroded. Frozen bearing, and not much you can do about this reel, and not worth doing anything about this reel. They're steel parts, they rust and pit and corrode, and that's why this reel is relatively inexpensive. So lessons learned. This is the Daiwa Sweepfire 4000. This one is unfortunately not going to have a second chance to go out and do anything in the fishing world. It's just too expensive to repair it at this point versus the cost of a new one. So I hope you've all enjoyed that. If you like these kinds of things, please subscribe to my channel, and if you do subscribe, hit the notification button. That way you'll see all of the items as they get posted, and I do post frequently. If you have a question on this reel or any reel in particular, if you leave that question in the comment section, I do try to respond to them on a regular basis. So that's the best way to reach me. And finally, if you have a reel that needs to be repaired, well, I do that too. And if you contact me using the email on the business card that follows, I'll be happy to provide you with that repair information. So this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, learning another lesson. I hope everybody please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. And have a great day.